players have been winning with some really strange strategies. Today, Big Dog, Chat, and I will be talking about some strategies that have been really weird, but successful into the game. Decks like Argostars, Super Quantum, and even Radiant Typhoon have all made an appearance. We're going to be breaking down if these strategies are going to be something that's going to be consistent in the meta, or if it's just a one-off thing. Let's go ahead and jump on in. What's going on with ya, big dogs? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that your day phenomenal. But if it isn't, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. Fit check, my boy. All right, so I got the black hoodie, by the way, TheCaliEffect hoodie. You know, got a sport ball gear. I got on classic gray sweatpants. You know, the sweatpants that got you guys here. And then I complimented it. Yeah, I know y'all like the black cats. I complimented it. I did that. He really be sending dad vibes? Bro, y'all can't, bro. And y'all trying to cook me? Come on. And they said it. Whoa, black cats. We a black cat family with no cats. So there's a couple of things that I've been noticing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Some cards that are pretty powerful when used, but we'll go over them really quickly. We've already talked about how Ghost Bell is the strongest hand trap, single form interruption hand trap in the game. And I've already told you Molcharmy Flawless is the best Molcharmy card. Some other cards I've been noticing is that in order to combat Dracotel, players have been using Retaliating Sea. I've also been seeing a little uptick in the Apophis cards, both Apophis of the Swamp Deity and the Apophis of the Serpent. Forbidden Droplet has been in freaking insane. That card's ridiculous. And I think that there's some other hidden trap cards like Evenly Matched, the Black Goat Laughs. There's quite a few floodgates that people could be using, and I hope that you don't use them. That could be really good in the game. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to pass it up to you guys. What are some cards that you guys have been having local success with, or maybe even regional success and above? MST was the MVP for my locals. Dark Art Master. If this was earlier in 2025, I think we would have laughed at you, but you're a genius right now. I took your advice and been playing Forbidden Chalice and Gym Nights and been having success. That's because Forbidden Chalice is a belt-to-ass card, boy. Dimensional Barrier is a banger too? Brother, what are you on? All right, but there are some really cool decks that are around. I want to show you guys a couple of quote-unquote meta decks that are taking a new spin. One of them is Super Quantum Malice. I think that's interesting. So here we have it. This is Super Quantum K9 Malice. I think it was pretty cool to show you guys like different versions of meta decks in case you wanted to play. And how this works is that the Super Quantum cards are an engine. If you can go through Super Quantum combo, you have 2 level 3 monsters, which makes the Cherubini to send the Malice P Dormouse. And then you link summon into Haggard Lizardos, which is full combo because now you can get easy access to Dormouse. So basically, this is a more consistent version of Malice because of the Super Quantum cards. And they also work allowing you to be able to summon Mecha Quantum Beast Magnaliner, which can destroy monsters on the field, and Grand Pulse, which can destroy spells or traps. So you do get a little bit more versatility. Am I wrong though? Everyone gooning over Malice while they are like 9 years old? Crazy. I think that Malice is in a really weird spot. This is a deck that is still meta, but is no longer running the game. I see why people hate the deck. And then at the same time, I did make a video talking about the aesthetic. It actually did put me off, personally. But overall though, if you're a Malice player, I don't think you're like as bad as a Trap Tricks player or something. Just to show you guys another meta deck we played a different way. We've already talked about this strategy before. This is Matteo Calargo's Yummy Sofa Core deck. I want to point out that these two decks are pretty much the exact same thing. Just like how Super Quantum full combo is full Malice combo, the Sofa Core cards are full Yummy combo. So there really isn't much diving on into this deck and like dissecting it or anything, other than just know if you get the Sofa Core combo going, you have full Yummy combo, which is kind of annoying. Gooning over Malice when Iris Sword Soul and Ravenwing sleeves exist is crazy. Vendetta, you are going wild for saying that. But he does have a point. Chat, I'm gonna tell you guys how it is. If you're gonna goon, the Raven Wing sleeve should be your choice. Not only are they the #1 sleeve in the entire universe, they're also the cheapest when it comes to my competitors. So make sure you guys are going to TheCaliEffect.com and purchasing your Raven Wing sleeves today. Sofa Yummy is just Yummy with 3 Heralds post ban list. So yeah, if they ain't playing level 5 Sofa, it's just Yummy with more starters. I actually think you're 100% right. It is really just Yummy, but most people are stuck on pure Yummy or Mitsurugi Yummy. They don't even know that Sofa Cord Yummy even exists. So just in case you guys wanted to play Yummy and wanted more starters and wanted to be able to play Dominus Purge, boom. Now, I know you guys are probably having a little bit of fatigue of meta decks, but there's one more deck I want to show you before we get to the cool stuff. Mitsurugi, but actually good Mitsurugi. Hear me out, chat. Hear me out. Actually good Mitsurugi. I know it sounds kind of like a juxtaposition. This is Demise Dogmatica Mitsurugi. Look, chat, you guys can't hate this deck. You can't hate it that much, right? It's Ryan Nelson, bro. Isn't that like a famous wrestler or something? This man's going crazy. He's full Nelson in the game right now. Demise, you have my attention. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Basically, what this deck does is that this card allows you to be able to ritual summon Demise, but it's a quick play spell. So you can like use this card to ritual summon Demise. Well, I mean, obviously on the opponent's turn, right? But also during the battle phase. And Demise pays 2,000 life points to destroy all cards on the field. So you literally can use this card to tribute off like your Habikiris and stuff, gain their searches, and check your opponent in all of their face down cards. And it also is playing a Dogmatica package and the Dear Servant, yes, and it's also still playing the Fallen and Virtuous package. As much as you guys may not like Mitsurugi, I think that this is probably one of the coolest versions of the deck. It shows that Yu-Gi-Oh can be unique and fun and sometimes crazy when Mitsurugi actually should have a restriction. Mitsurugi is an NPC deck, just like Branded was in 2020 and 2021. Hey, hold on. I don't go that far. Almost every ritual deck was meta. No. Almost every meta ritual deck was toxic though. I will agree with that. So obviously, we showed you guys some meta Yu-Gi-Oh decks, and y'all wasn't feeling it, right? So I'm going to do the opposite of what we just saw. I'm going to show you a deck that I think we can agree no one should play it unless you have no friends. This is the deck for people with no friends. I think this is the worst thing to ever happen in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I want to point out a couple of things, chat. These 3 cards were limited for a reason, right? You're not supposed to be able to play them in combination with each other. This card should be banned, all right, alongside of these cards. But for some reason, Yu-Gi-Oh players will just find ways to keep playing Floodgates. But this deck is an abomination to God. It definitely should make all Floodgates banned. It is a Runick Stun deck, and I'm telling you guys, don't play it unless you have no friends. I would release Diddy from prison for this deck to die. Bruce. That's pretty much all that we have for like the disgusting decks. From here on out, it's going to be nothing but good. Now look, guys, this is roughly close to another player that played Odion. This is Christopher Alphonse's Odion deck, and it plays Gemini Elf, so you can't really be that mad, right? Odion is fine. All right, I'm glad we're on the same page. What I don't like is like Floodgate. All these decks just get countered by Memento, and I guess that brings us to the next thing. In case you guys didn't know, Memento is one of my favorite decks. It's still one of the craziest decks too. This is a 60-card Memento deck. I think that the Radiant Typhoon cards are like, you guys should be buying them like 10 times out of 10. Also, Radiant Typhoon's a really good deck on its own, but this is a Radiant Typhoon Memento deck. If you lead off with Radiant Typhoon combo, you can summon Big Gobanga, which can get you Doug the Charger, which is full combo because you get into Goblin Biker Grand Entrance or your Grand Breakout, and then you can summon Memento Goblin and then go from there. And speaking of Radiant Typhoon, here is a pure Radiant Typhoon deck by Luke Tyler. This one's good, man. This one's good. This deck can full Fiendsmith combo. Like, obviously, you get 2 level 3s. You make the Melodious Brass de Jin, and that's a light fiend. So it's essentially your Moon of the Closed Heaven without Moon of the Closed Heaven. And this card is actually really powerful in the game right now against most of the top decks. But then there's still the Fallen and the Virtuous. I think that this card's ridiculous too. And then there's the Desperate Doom Eagle. This card's actually good. I think that this is insane, but the fact that this deck can naturally just play Harpy's Feather Storm in the side deck, chat, you don't even need to thrust into it. That's actually crazy. The big 2 golden balls, brother. This player has cojones. I definitely said that wrong. Let me say it again. This player has cojones. You guys know White Forest, right? You guys love White Forest. I mean, we obviously need to call the FBI on you guys for liking White Forest, but you know. What if I said you could play White Forest without the white? Something about it just tells me that I'm doing something right. I don't know, man. I don't know. White Forest without the white is probably my style. So Blackwoods, brother, there's some racism there. Blackwoods is a bigger deck. So this is Backwoods, piloted by John Atea, and I think that this deck is really interesting. We even have two versions of the deck. This one was piloted by Lashland Whisker. I genuinely think that this is really, really cool to see, right? Like, it's literally just an Azamina deck, and you summon cards like Il Severa pretty consistently. Saint Azamina Confusion summon on your opponent's turn. These trap cards are, I always thought that this card was really good. I even played it in my Kashtira deck with a Diabellstar engine, and it got me a top. So like, this card's insane, guys. Send one Diabellstar monster from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard. You get to negate a face-up card on the field. And then if you do it on your opponent's turn, obviously you can use Diabellstar to resummon itself. And then it says, when your opponent activates a card in response to your Diabellstar monster effect or your Sinful Spoil spell or trap card, you can banish this card to negate that opponent's effect. I didn't get that, but you can use it to like stop your opponent from stopping deception of the Sinful Spoils and stuff. And that's kind of crazy. There is an Argostars deck. There is, and this one got first place, chat. This is Argostars K9. I want you to ignore the K9 cards. We know what they do. This card's stupid. It banishes itself to put two Argostars continuous trap cards. This card summons itself fast. I don't remember the effect. I just know it's a free summon. This card gets you a search, and this card gets you a bounce. That bounce is actually kind of crazy. Of course, it's gonna play cards like Dimensional Fissure and Statue of Anguish Pattern, but I genuinely think that this Argostars deck is something interesting. It's definitely out, and again, it got first place. Jesse Gong getting first place with Argostar. Lastly, there's another deck I was wrong about, Pure Orcust. This one got top 8, or I thought it got first. I don't see what it got because I'm blind, guys. But this deck did top, and it's a Pure Orcust Yu-Gi-Oh deck. I love it, guys. I love it. Couple of notes here. I genuinely think that Evenly Match is a crazy strong card. For cards that you guys should pick up, Super Quantums if you really like it. Radiant Typhoon, pick up those cards right now because the engine is starting to go crazy and the deck is even crazier. And more importantly, guys, you can still win while not playing the best deck in the room. Again, I want to know what you guys think down below about these Yu-Gi-Oh decks. What are some strategies that you are playing and some success that you've been having? Of course, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like, and also be sure to check out these videos so I can catch you on the next one.